Have you been feeling different lately, as if your perception of reality has shifted? Maybe you've noticed strange coincidences, a deeper emotional connection with others, or an increased sense of intuition. If so, you might already be stepping into the fifth dimension without even realizing it. But what exactly does that mean? Is this just a spiritual concept, or is there something deeper happening? How can you tell if you've truly entered this new state of consciousness? In today's video, I'll reveal the signs that indicate you're shifting into the fifth dimension, and how this transformation can change your life forever. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything about spirituality and consciousness expansion. Your engagement helps spread this message to those who need it. Now let's begin. The fifth dimension is often misunderstood as a physical realm, but it's actually a shift in awareness. Unlike the third dimension, which is based on linear time and separation, the fifth dimension represents a state where time is fluid and everything is interconnected. In this heightened state of consciousness, the illusion of duality begins to dissolve, and you start seeing reality from a much broader perspective. Many people describe this transition as a profound awakening. Suddenly, they no longer feel isolated, but deeply connected to everything around them. The past, present, and future seem to merge into one continuous experience, and synchronicities become impossible to ignore. This shift happens gradually, often starting with small realizations that expand over time. However, this new awareness doesn't come all at once. It arrives in waves. One moment you feel completely in tune with the universe, and the next, you might find yourself slipping back into old patterns. This is part of the process, as your consciousness adjusts to a higher frequency. Eventually, the fifth dimension becomes your natural way of perceiving reality. And as this shift takes place, something remarkable happens. Your entire perception of the world changes. What once seemed ordinary suddenly holds a much deeper meaning. As you transition into the fifth dimension, your understanding of reality undergoes a profound transformation. You begin to realize that everything is energy, and your consciousness plays a key role in shaping your experiences. The rigid structures of the material world no longer seem absolute, and you start to see a deeper, interconnected pattern in everything around you. Your logical mind, once limited by fixed beliefs, starts to open up to new possibilities. What once seemed like random coincidences now appear as meaningful synchronicities guiding you along your path. Even challenging experiences take on a new perspective. You begin to see them as lessons rather than obstacles, each one designed to help you grow spiritually. One of the biggest changes is how you interact with your own thoughts and emotions. Instead of being controlled by automatic reactions, you become a conscious observer of your inner world. Your attachment to the ego and old identities weakens, allowing you to step into a more authentic version of yourself. This shift brings a sense of liberation, as you no longer feel confined by outdated beliefs and fears. And as your awareness expands, so does your ability to feel deeply. Suddenly, your emotions become more vivid, your intuition sharper, and your empathy stronger. As you shift into the fifth dimension, your emotional world becomes more vivid and intense. You begin to feel everything on a much deeper level: joy, love, sadness, and even uncertainty. But rather than being overwhelming, this emotional amplification is a sign of your evolving consciousness. You're no longer suppressing your feelings or living on autopilot. Instead, you're fully present with your emotions, allowing them to guide and teach you. One of the most profound changes is an increase in empathy. You start to sense the emotions of others as if they were your own, making you more compassionate and understanding. This deep emotional connection can be challenging at first, as absorbing external energies may feel overwhelming. However, as you adjust to this sensitivity, you learn to channel it in a way that strengthens your relationships and brings more harmony into your life. This newfound depth of emotion also leads to greater authenticity. You can no longer tolerate superficial interactions or suppress your true feelings. Instead, you naturally seek out genuine connections and meaningful conversations. The more aligned you are with your emotions, the more clarity you gain about what truly matters in your life, And as your priorities shift, something unexpected happens. You begin to lose interest in material possessions. The things that once seemed so important start to feel insignificant compared to the richness of authentic experiences. As your consciousness expands, your relationship with the material world begins to change. The desire for external validation, status, and material wealth starts to fade. Not because these things are inherently bad, but because you begin to see them for what they truly are, temporary and secondary to your inner fulfillment. In the fifth dimension, your focus shifts from accumulation to appreciation, from possessing to experiencing. This shift brings an incredible sense of freedom. You no longer feel weighed down by the pressure to conform to societal expectations. Instead, you find joy in the simple things, deep conversations, moments of stillness, and the beauty of the present moment. Gratitude becomes second nature, and you start to understand that true abundance is not measured by what you own, but by the richness of your experiences. This detachment also affects the way you deal with loss. While losing something or someone in the past may have caused deep suffering, now you see it through a different lens. You recognize that life moves in cycles, and clinging to what no longer serves you only creates resistance. By letting go, you make space for new energies and opportunities that align with your evolving journey. And as you step further into this new way of being, the universe starts to communicate with you in unexpected ways. Suddenly, patterns and synchronicities appear, guiding you towards your higher path. As you raise your vibration and align with the fifth dimension, you start noticing synchronicities everywhere. Numbers like 1111, 222, or 333 appear repeatedly. You think of someone, and they suddenly message you. A book, video, or song comes into your life at the exact moment you need its message. These are not random coincidences. They are signs from the universe, confirming that you are on the right path. Synchronicities serve as guideposts, showing that your internal reality is influencing your external world. The more you pay attention, the more you realize that everything is interconnected. The universe is always communicating with you, but only when you tune in do you begin to see the patterns. These signs are gentle nudges, guiding you toward decisions and actions that are in alignment with your soul's purpose. At the same time, your intuition becomes stronger. You no longer need as much external validation because you start to trust your inner knowing. You feel when something is right or wrong without needing logical proof. This heightened sense of awareness helps you navigate life with more ease, allowing you to flow with events rather than resist them. But to fully step into this new reality, you must go through a powerful process of inner transformation. Old wounds, emotional blocks, and limiting beliefs need to be released so your energy can flow freely. Stepping into the fifth dimension is not just about expansion, it's also about deep healing. Before you can fully embrace this higher state of consciousness, you must release the emotional baggage that has kept you stuck in lower vibrations. This process can be intense, as it often brings unresolved wounds and fears to the surface. But rather than being a setback, this is actually a powerful opportunity for growth. Many people going through this transition experience waves of emotional purging. Old traumas, limiting beliefs, and suppressed feelings start to rise, demanding to be acknowledged and healed. While this can feel overwhelming, it's an essential step toward spiritual evolution. Every painful experience you face is an invitation to free yourself from patterns that no longer serve you. As you release these emotional blockages, you begin to feel lighter, more aligned, and more in tune with your true self. Relationships that were once built on fear or attachment may start to dissolve, making room for deeper and more authentic connections. Your perception of past struggles changes, and instead of seeing them as burdens, you recognize them as necessary lessons that helped shape your journey. And with this newfound freedom, something extraordinary happens. Your creativity begins to flourish. You start feeling an unstoppable urge to express yourself in new and meaningful ways. When you enter the fifth dimension, a surge of creativity often accompanies this shift in consciousness. Suddenly, you feel inspired to explore new forms of art, self-expression, and innovation. It's as if a hidden wellspring of ideas has opened. Within you, inviting you to channel your passions without fear of judgment. This blossoming creativity comes not from the mind alone, but from a deeper place of connection with universal energy. Many people describe a newfound sense of flow when creating. Paintbrushes move on their own, words pour onto the page effortlessly, or musical compositions come to life without painstaking effort. You realize that true creativity isn't a battle with your intellect, but a harmonious dance between your heart, intuition, and the collective consciousness. Each new project becomes a joyful act of self-discovery rather than a chore. This liberated expression also dissolves the fear of making mistakes. Perfectionism takes a back seat, allowing experimentation and spontaneity to guide you. Instead of being limited by rigid expectations, you embrace the unpredictable nature of creation. Every piece of art, every project, and every inspired idea is an extension of your authentic self, reflecting your inner transformation. And with each canvas you paint or song you compose, you tap into a profound sense of peace. In fact, the more you allow your creativity to flow, the more serenity you find within. This inner calm begins to permeate every aspect of your life. In the fifth dimension, a profound sense of calm becomes part of everyday life. Freed from the endless chatter of the mind, you find solace in stillness rather than constant motion. Concerns about tomorrow and regrets from the past slowly fade, replaced by a deep trust in life's unfolding. This newfound tranquility serves as a protective layer, shielding your core from external upheavals. It's not that challenges disappear. You simply learn to face them with a centered mind and heart. Others may notice this serene energy emanating from you, drawn by a sense of warmth and reassurance. Some might seek guidance or comfort, while others could feel unsettled by the transformation. They can't quite explain. Nonetheless, your peace acts as an anchor, keeping you steady in the face of chaos. This state of harmony doesn't depend on everything going right in your world. It flourishes because you recognize a greater, interconnected plan at work. As this mindset takes root, you become more discerning about where to direct your attention and energy. Rather than engaging in petty conflicts, you opt for calm resolutions and open dialogue. Even in tense circumstances, your priority shifts to understanding and connection rather than winning an argument. This peaceful presence not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your inner balance and resilience. The key to sustaining this serenity lies in embracing the present moment. By releasing the need to control future outcomes, you begin to notice the beauty in everyday experiences, a gentle breeze, a shared laugh, the stillness before a new day. Living in the now creates space for gratitude and acceptance, allowing you to fully appreciate life's smallest gifts. And as this sense of presence becomes second nature, you'll find that your perception of time itself begins to transform. As you align with the fifth dimension, you begin to understand that time is not as rigid as it once seemed. The past and future lose their grip on you, and the present moment becomes your primary focus. Instead of dwelling on regrets or worrying about what's ahead, you fully immerse yourself in the now, realizing that this is where true life unfolds. Every experience feels richer, and you develop a deep appreciation for even the simplest moments. This shift in awareness brings a profound sense of clarity. When you're fully present, distractions fade away, and your mind stops racing between past mistakes and future anxieties. You become more engaged in conversations, more attuned to the sensations around you, and more connected to the people in your life. Every action, no matter how small, gains a sense of purpose and meaning as you begin to live with conscious intention rather than routine habits. Letting go of time-based fears also cultivates trust in the universe's timing. You no longer feel the need to rush or force things into existence. Instead, you understand that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Opportunities arrive when they are meant to, lessons present themselves at the right time, and all experiences, whether joyful or challenging, contribute to your personal growth. This surrender to the present moment allows life to flow with ease and harmony. And while living in the present brings a deep sense of fulfillment, maintaining this state requires conscious effort. Certain practices can help strengthen this awareness. ensuring that you remain connected to the higher frequency of the fifth dimension. Entering and maintaining a fifth-dimensional state of consciousness isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. The more you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with this higher frequency, the easier it becomes to sustain. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for this process, as it quiets the mind and deepens your connection with the present moment. Through regular meditation, you strengthen your ability to remain centered no matter what happens around you. Gratitude is another key practice. When you shift your focus from what's lacking to what you already have, your energy immediately elevates. Expressing gratitude rewires your perception, making you more aware of the abundance in your life. Alongside this, listening to your intuition becomes essential. The more you trust your inner voice, the more effortlessly you navigate through life's decisions and opportunities. Taking care of your physical and energetic well-being is also crucial. Engaging in mindful activities like yoga, spending time in nature, or simply prioritizing self-care helps maintain a high vibration. Additionally, detaching from materialism and placing greater value on experiences rather than possessions strengthens your connection to this elevated state. When you're not bound by external attachments, you allow life to flow more freely. Ultimately, every experience you encounter is an opportunity for growth and expansion. The fifth dimension is not a destination. It's a continuous unfolding of deeper awareness and alignment with the universe. The more you embrace this transformation, the more you realize that you are not just existing in this reality, you are actively co-creating it.